Good evening, everyone. Hope you're all well. Pretty much on time. So we will just give a couple of minutes for everyone to have a chance to join. Evening, Paul. Evening, Ross. Evening, Wolfie. Sharing our secrets out there on the internet. Not sure if that's wise, but let you off this time. No harm done, apparently. And if anyone knows what Steve's wife is calling it, then feel free to share. Although he mentioned that it was probably not complimentary. Is that the word? Anyway, hopefully picture and sound is all clear for you so you can see what's going on. I presume you can hear me as usual. The volume seems fine, so that's all good. So, without further ado, let's have a quick look at the results from last time out. Uh, Even Dimble, even Tato. Scott wants to go on. Aha, okay, yeah, sure, no problem. Yeah, appreciate it. So LSK we'll do a little bit later. I'll make a note of that. Thank you. Um, Good. While we wait for everyone to join, let's have a quick look at the results from last time out. Not the goal fest that we've had previously, although there was a couple of exciting finishes to some of the games. Dudley Hill Badgers and Haggis and Vikings, 0-0 draws, sort of narrow home wins for Exiles and Foss Road. Los Santos with that 1-1 draw, the manager swap between Sancte and Stackington, providing Ross with his first win. So congratulations of the season. And yeah, the the journey for Duggan and Stackington didn't get any easier. Even Steve and last but not least, Sloths, who were looking pretty good going into this one, looked pretty bad coming out of this one with Fulchester beating them 3-0. So a difficult night for Alpha and the narrow formation, and a good one for Dan, picking up 3 points on the road there up to seventh place for Fulchester. Speaking of seventh place, let's have a look at the table. As we do, Northern Burn still out in front. Um, That is going to be a different sign when the goat signs up. Oh yeah, transfer news. Oh yeah. Well, we'll get to the transfer drama. Don't worry, we'll get to the transfer drama. Let's have a look at the league standings. Northern Burn out in front on 25, closely followed by East Coast and Foster Road 3 points behind. Very similar goal differences, but for the followers as well, 15-10, 15-12, 14-10 for East Coast, Foss, and Dudley. Then there's Haggis and Exiles, the two north of the border teams. They're also north of the dotted line here on 19 points. Just below them, Fulchester, and then Badgers, Sloths, Stanley, Vikings, Sancte, a little bit further behind on 11. And then finally, Los Santos and Stackington down in the bottom two places on 10 and 5, respectively. Interesting to see how long it will take for Duggan to turn around Stackington's fortunes and get that little zero there, get that little zero away. We've not really spent a whole lot of time looking at home and away form, apart from mentioning Northern Burns home form, which has been pretty decent to say the least. No one else comes close, obviously. Apart from that, away home form has been sort of not super impressive, to be completely honest. It's not where the big differences are. The big differences are really more in the away forms, where the top five teams or so have secured less than three defeats. Let's put it that way. And down at the bottom, with the odd exception, it's been been difficult to find wins on the road. That seems to have been the main difference between the top and bottom teams. So that's a little bit of quick analysis for you this evening. I'll spare you more waffling about that. Instead, we will have a look at the fixtures. Yeah, that looks funny. Yeah, you'll notice that once you start the game, then all of the league positions are a little bit sort of, oh yeah, mixed up. But anyway, Dudley Hill takes on Stackington. Not Probably not Accrington win, who knows? It's difficult playing a top side. Northern Burn, I think Ian mentioned it's the most difficult game of the season away to East Coast, so that'll be interesting to see how they fare. Resurgent Fulchester with that 3-0 win against Sloth going into the visit to Exiles. Foss Road, who are on I thought they were on a run of home games rather. They're on a run of home games, aren't they? Playing the Badgers, we've got Haggis against Los Santos, Sancte against Stanley, and finally Sloths against the Vikings. Sloths need goals, creating chances, but not taking them. Indeed, that's been a problem for many teams out, but indeed for Sloths, it's been overall pretty decent. But they could have had a couple more points if they'd taken a few more chances in games they potentially should have won. Having said that, quick mention about the transfers. Not made any decisions around changing up the transfer policy. I believe it's still kind of valid. But I do get the counter argument that you can gamble a couple of big signings during the preseason, and it turns out in the first 10, 12 games that it's absolutely not working for you. You just can't get a tune out of whoever it is that you've signed, and you would like an opportunity to perhaps rectify that in the second half of the season. I hear that and might come up with a solution for that as well. So, indeed, the second bit of transfer talk was around potential rejection from HQ about, if you can call me that, about particular transfers. This will not happen. You can do the transfers that you want, and if some people get kind of the short straw or the short end of the deal or whatever you want to call it, then tough. That's kind of how it is. Um, Transfers is something that you all really enjoy. It's something that everyone is like, looking forward to. Unlimited transfers. We've had 250 players swap, and I think that's actually I was never really for it, but I think it's kind of important that you have that part of the game to deal with, especially as the say progresses and some of the players age or whatever. There will be there will be things that needs to be addressed in terms of having transfers. Um, so they will just continue. You can do whatever transfers you want. If someone feels like someone else is getting a bad deal, then I mean, I don't know, make a counter offer. Who knows? Has anyone ever got a good season out of Zidane? That's a good question, Al. I can't remember. I think he scored 4 goals for someone at some point and then never to be seen again. So I doubt it. Ian signed him, Mr. Edwards, with the intention, I believe, of getting a tune out of him. And as Ian mentioned, he's averaging a 7. No, because of the creativity bug, Alf. You know this. Ah, enlighten me. Is it something when you have like a creativity and something else of something, then the game like turns it around and thinks it's like a 1 instead of a 255 or something like that? I can't remember. Scott once at Bostock got 3 10s in 5 games, right? Yeah, well, your memory is a lot better than mine. I'll leave you to discuss the various sort of performances of Zidane. His CA is too high, so his reflexes count as creativity, I believe. Aha. Okay, this is very technical, but that's interesting. I'm not sure I fully understand it. I'm not sure I need to. Anyway, to summarize the transfers, I won't be making any judgment about which transfers can go ahead and which ones can't. As long as they're within the rules, I'm happy to process to do the admin for it. And that's it on transfers really, and no confirmation about what will happen. But I do hear the point about people having gambled on specific individuals and might want to switch it up in during the mid-season sort of time where we're at now. So that's also fair. But I'll do something. I'll do something for that. So you can potentially make another transfer too. Who knows? We will see. Good, good, good. Enough monologue. We will start with the games and see where it takes us. It looks as if we go Exile Colchester. Dan is here and Neil usually isn't, so I guess we can jump straight into this one. Um, fairly certain Dan went as is. I should make a note of these things, but I haven't. Um, but I'm fairly certain he went as is after that 3-0 victory last time out. There was a couple of changes for Neil, meanwhile, over at Exiles. Costanzo picking up that red card, so he is suspended. Richard Wright, who came in and saved the penalty. Proton goes back out again, and I believe Tomasi comes in from Estrada. I think those were the changes that he's made. Tactic remains the same. They've been very solid recently, Exiles as well. Let's have a look at their run. They had that defeat, but apart from that, it's been. Oh, Neil is here. Very good. Oh, goody, goody, goody. Indeed. Good to see you here, Neil. We are ready with your game. Cordoba gets number 33. There we go. So, without further ado, we'll jump into the first game of the evening, Exiles against Fulchester in their away colours. Wonder if it will be good luck for the side that their managers on the sidelines. Who knows? Or if they're better off getting a man sent off. Uh, Can you offer your worst players to Vikings to start the night off? You can. I'm not sure Paul will want any of them. I think he highly rated Del Vecchio, isn't he? Really, especially on home saves. Meanwhile, Vieri opens the scoring and Fico picks up an injury. You can obviously choose between your talents of Farias and Saha, who play exactly the same position apparently. We go with Farias for this one. Excellent. We'll have a look at halftime and see what the fitness impact was. Oh, and there's a red card for Fulchester. Didn't see that one coming. Pablo, oh, that's like an Exiles player, isn't he? Surely he was at Exiles at some point, or East Coast even. I feel like he was at Haggis or Exiles or something. He sounds like an Exile. Aha, indeed. There's love for him, but yeah. Agent Pablo to the rescue. Dan, if you want to make any changes or if you want to continue, it's arrows off the DM season carry on. Thanks very much. Previous iteration he was at Haggis. Indeed, indeed, indeed. I remember now. Good. We roll till halftime and see what happens. Oh, Christian Vieri with the second of the evening. I know that Exiles, I think, apparently were allowed to do something tactical there, but I'm not. I'm not down with that. Let's have a look at the shots on goal. 6 for Exiles, 3 for Fulchester, none on target. Pacing coming up, says Dan. Well, maybe. You never know. You never know. It's a strange one that some teams seems to do a lot better or equally well when they're down to 10 and some not. In Fulchester's case, this was definitely a not. Unfortunate with that red card. We'll see what happened. Got pushed over. Nothing too serious. Um, Condition wise, you're looking pretty good. Rating wise, it's not great. Focal to DMC in the center, Bento. Okay. Beckham central on his own. Do you want to keep the arrow on Beckham? Um, Vieri with the parting gift for his manager before he comes home. Oh, transfer speculation again, or transfer news again. Okay, excellent, thanks. Um, Yeah, I mean, Neil, what do you want to do something? You've got a billion fitness and everyone playing no one playing particularly bad. Vieri on a yellow though, that might be of some concern. So Roberto with 1 assist, Charlie with the other, and overall a solid first half from Exiles. We go as is, roll till 60 and see if the good football and the goals from the Exiles can continue, or if the changes that Colchester have made will put a stop to the fun. It certainly seemed to have put a bit of a stop to the fun. We're almost at 60. Yeah, so it has been very effective from Colchester. Sorry, from Fulchester rather, to kind of stem the flow a little bit. Exile still with 1 shot, but it remains 2-0. Um, Condition wise, Exiles, you're still good. Match ratings are like this. I don't know if you want to see Lusenhoff or Saha in action. You don't. Both managers says play on. Dan, you don't want to. have a quick look. Okay, never mind. We play on till the full time and see what happens in the last 30 minutes or so. Looks as if, oh my goodness, that's not gone well at all, has it? Fulchester picks up the second yellow of the evening. Johan Vogel in that central midfield. Is that Vargas again that they're that they're attacking? Who knows? Dan, if you want to make any changes, then play on. Yeah, yeah. I thought that might be the case. I thought that might be the case. Farias with his first goal for the Exiles. Manager will be very pleased to see that, especially as he'll be probably looking for a bit of cover for Fico picking up that injury. Yeah, complete return on the game from the last round where Fulchester beat Sloths 3-0. They're losing tonight with the same scoreline, 3-0 to the Exiles. It, I mean, there's nothing really to be particularly interested in. We'll see how Vogel got sent off. He shoved him, so there's more pushing going on there. Vieri with the 10, Aimo Diana with the last assist. And yeah, overall excellent performance. Exiles pushing way into that playoff space now. Well played. Congratulations with that result. The first game of the evening. Christian Vieri climbing up the scorer charts. Steve is waiting to drag us down. Scott is hanging around, so somewhere else. So we'll leave that for a little bit. We could do Dudley and Stackington actually, for Steve to drag down the entertainment level. Who would have thought that I'm Diana, Fabio, and Vargas could do it in the SL? Not enough people. Not enough people, Neil. That's the answer to that question. If you look at some of the players that are in the reserves and people are just ignoring them because they're not like well known, then and not giving them chances, then you can see no one else apart from you would have thought that. So maybe we should put you in charge of all the reserve teams instead. You can tell us who the stars are. Klimovic for Shevchenko. That seems like a fair swap. Good. We move on with Dudley against Stackington and see how we go in this one. I believe there was just one change, D'Alessandro to AMC for Dudley. Meanwhile, at Stackington, and Duggan is in Spain. Was he here? I don't remember. Anyway, Duggan is in Spain. This is how he lines up. I haven't had a chance to reduce to 24. So this is how he goes. Marinho and Novotny at the back. Gravas and Decour, Guigu, a bunch of familiar faces, just a slightly different tactic or stuff. Wolfie's on subs here. Ah, indeed. Indeed, indeed. Someone ping him on Twitter and say and tell him to come and make substitutions. True, he is. Good point, actually. Well spotted, Tato. So we'll just we'll just give him 5 seconds. Well, we can give him to, well, he'll come on at halftime. You can ping him and say that they're on now, and then hopefully he will turn up. Let's have a look. Dudley Hill against Accrington. Good, good start. Good entertaining start. I thought you were going to drag the kind of entertainment level down. Steve, it seems to have been well, not one-way traffic, but probably most of the chances going Dudley's way so far. Coming up to half time, still 0-0. Here comes Roberto Carlos and Dyer. They are doing super well early on this season, but I haven't seen a lot in terms of assists from them in the last couple of games. I might just be memory failing me or not paying attention. That's also an option. And there it is. The Alessandro's going on his debut. The AMC comes on and puts Dudley Hill 1-0 up just on the stroke of halftime. Yeah, that's not gone well for Stackington at all, has it? Confidence low on the away side, and looks as if they'll still be searching for the first win of the season after this one. Not been ideal at all. Sixes and sevens, fitness-wise, there are no concerns. So there's not really much else to add here. We're struggling to score at the minute. You just scored. What do you mean? You just scored. Assist from Roberto Carlos after I said that he hadn't made many assists recently. So it's going well, reasonably well, condition-wise. Kieran Dyer is down to 84, might be something to watch out for on the hour mark. Apart from that, everyone else is very happy and good. Um, any changes from either manager or a confirmation of as is would be appreciated. Caesar for Hussein. Oh my goodness. That's it. Thanks very much, Steve. I don't know if anyone was able to ping the Wolfman. He might be able to join at 60. Can't really sit around for ages. So if he turns up, he turns up at 60, and he can have a look at the show and what's going on for Stackington. Good chance for them here in the beginning of the second half. Hakahawa involved, and Sabiola as well, and Rivaldo had run all the way till 69 while all that was going on. This is Dudley Hill with 20 minutes to play. Emerson is on a 6 on a yellow. Condition-wise, you're good. So any changes, feel free to. Where is he, Emerson? Oh, he's there, central midfield. Marquinhos could be the obvious replacement there if you want to make a change. Meanwhile, over at Stackington, we've got Mourinho on a yellow card and a 5. Big Marvin, the obvious change there, and but I wouldn't necessarily make it. I'm just gonna double check and see if Duggan left any instructions. Um, mm, yeah. A lot of complaining about the quality of his squad, but that's to be expected. Okay, if nothing on paper, and it looks as if um, the Wolfman isn't here, so we'll continue until the end and see if Dudley Hill can hang on to this one. It looks as if they can, but you never know. Oh, a couple of chances there. A couple of good chances for the away side, but nothing came of it. And 4 minutes to play. We'll just see if we can slow it down just a little bit. Just a little bit. Nothing's going to happen anyway, so it doesn't actually matter. And 1-0 it is. Stackington did create a little bit in the second half, but not enough to threaten, really. 1 or 2 shots on target there we saw. Rivaldo dropped down to a 6, Elba on a 6. Apart from that, not the worst, I guess, from the guests. Could have been a lot worse, and they're up against the quality side. We look at the Dudley Hill team. Kieran Dyer runs away with the Man of the Match award somehow. Hussein, the only slight disappointment, and he was subbed off. So we'll play Dudley Hill, consolidating their position towards the top of the table. Same can be said for Stackington, consolidating their position at the bottom, perhaps a less wanted outcome. Scott has arrived, so let's roll with Los Santos, as that's the next one that come up. And Ian was here, and I believe he's watching without the sound, so so at least he can see what's going on. Unchanged, perhaps, for Scott, as I recall, maybe one bench. Palazzo, Chunso, and Overmars on the bench, I believe, is a change from the first game, and watch it. Who has Ruud van Nistelrooy? Haggis has Ruud van Nistelrooy. Meanwhile, Chunso gets a number. Meanwhile, over at the Haggis, there was a change. I kind of forget again what it was. Pires on the left. Rubio on the bench. Oh, it was Guede comes up and joins the team. Indeed. Nothing super spectacular in terms of changes for the Haggis side. But yeah, they've been doing pretty well recently. 3-0, 2-0 draws. It's been a while since they lost since that Foss Road game, so probably a difficult opponent for Scott. Difficult game here away to Ian's side, but we'll see. We'll see how it goes. If he can find a result here. Had that 1-1 draw, obviously, in his first game in charge. We kick this one off, and we see how it goes with Haggis against Los Santos. Oh, and it's Pizarro opening the scoring after just 3 minutes for the away side. A new manager will be very pleased. There was a can't miss opportunity for Tristan, but he somehow did. It, I was going to say it does look as if Haggis is coming back into this one, and it's Cannavaro who equalizes on 8 minutes. So the goals that we were perhaps lacking in the previous games seem to be coming in this one. Can't complain about that. 2 goals in the first 10 minutes. Niki Furinko attracting attention in the comments, I can see. He did have a very good start to the season. We've not seen that much of him recently, but certainly early on this season he was doing very, very well. Meanwhile, the game's sort of calmed down a little bit. Uh, yes, Mr. Richards, you have played and you lost. I'm sorry to say. Half time. It's been pretty much all Los Santos. I thought Haggis had a bit more in it, but I guess not. Let's have a look at the player ratings. Nothing too impressive. Hencho getting the assist. Very good. Um, Unexpected, but I guess his manager won't be complaining. Meanwhile, Ruud van Nistelrooy gets the assist for Fabio Cannavaro. That's the wrong way around. But again, the manager will probably take it. Bit of a shame about the keeper and his performance, but it is what it is. He's on a 5. We'll see if either manager wants to make any changes here at half time. As mentioned, looking okay fitness-wise, performance-wise, a bit up and down. And over on the other side here are your ratings and here are your conditions, which it's fine. All is good. Go to 60, says Ian. We'll see what Scott says for his side, if he wants to make any changes already or if he rolls as well. Some real life content in the background. Legion Soul for Salva. Excellent. Good. We roll until 60 and we see if anyone can take charge of this one. 1 or 2 chances for Los Santos. And that takes us up to 65, and Barry Ferguson picks up an injury. That's going to be something that his manager will have to address, of course. Meanwhile, I'll give Ian a quick look of his side. Sort of the same. Sort of the same as at halftime. Nothing has really changed in terms of fitness. You're all good as well. So any changes you would like to make, please let us know. Meanwhile, over on the other side, we go Kalatse, and oh, that's not gone well. We go Kalatse, we do the swap then. Excellent. Just waiting for Ian to confirm if he wants to do anything. Real life taxi drama. Oh my goodness, I thought you were going to say essays, and there's all this. Monty for Pires. Good. Where's Gomez? This one. And these two. Marquinhos better than both of them on the left. Oh, you're trying to sell players. Ah, I see, I see. Okay. Good, good, good. Yeah, yeah. I was thinking, it's interesting advice to offer. Not sure if it's true, but I see where you're going with that now. We run the last 24 minutes of this one as well and see if those wholesale changes for the Haggis will have an impact, or if the enforced changes for Los Santos will be the key to winning this one. Desperately trying to slow it down, 4 minutes of added time. Let's see if there will be a late goal in this one. Cannavaro comes forward. There's Del Vecchio, the much maligned Del Vecchio, See if he can find the winner here. No one can find the winner. We go to full time. It's 1-1. Fairly even. It's another draw for the new manager at Los Santos. It's away from home. It's against the top five side. He'll probably be relatively happy with this one. Not the worst performance for sure. Shame about the injury to Barry Ferguson, of course. Shame about the sevens, but good to see Pizarro obviously getting off the, not getting off, he has scored earlier this season, but good to see Pizarro in amongst the goals. That's going to be key for them this season, I think, with him being their main contributor up there. If we look at the Haggis side quickly, there's a couple of nines in there for Samuel, for Cannavaro, who got the man of the match and the goal, of course. Ibrahim Said as well. Not a lot from the strikers in terms of involvement in this one. A couple of shots between them. Carlos Shax was the most productive in that area, but yeah, 1-1, fair result. Haggis against Los Santos. Oh, we should actually save this one for the end, shouldn't we? Really, it's kind of like the super clash of the Titans, top of the table, etc., etc. So we will. And instead, let's have a look at Sancte against Stanley. That's another interesting one. I believe Mike says as is, as he hasn't had time to play around with the tactic, which is fair. That's also a very quick turnaround here. And I believe there were changes on the other end. Let me just double check where this was. Um, so this one goes. And indeed, there were some adjustments. And we see for, I don't know if it's the first time, but we see Richie Wellens in central midfield. So that's interesting. I'm not sure if it will have the desired effect, but it's interesting to see, and happy that someone is trying something different. Um, I mean, if you look at the numbers, it should work. It should work. He has not played much. He went to from Sloth to Sancte, then he went to Fulchester, and now he's back at Sancte. He did play at Fulchester, not a lot and not very well, but he did play. Interesting, curious to see how he does. He saved as headline act. I mean, it is, isn't it? It is. I mean, we can do your game next. It's fine. But if anyone wants to go to bed early, then don't. I thought you came for the monologue, Ian. What happened? Either way, let's try this one. Let's see what happens as Sancti take on Stanley. Chigalco, who I believe is the subject of a transfer after this round, um, opened the scoring last time out, and it'll be interesting to see if he can continue that run, or if any of these guys actually pick up an injury and the transfers are somehow cancelled. That would be ironic. It looks as if it's been pretty much all Stanley so far in the first half hour. Let's see if it's sucker punch time as Sancte come forward. Doesn't look like it yet though. Jagata's obviously getting involved. I think he's leading the man of the match charge with 4 or 5. Um, Get badges on next. Okay, we can do. Right, that's not a fantastic first half from Sancte. One shot, not on target. It's much better from Stanley, but they haven't scored. They also haven't won any headers. That's then a different topic. But overall, Vlahovic, Ronaldo, and Chicalco, all the ones that have had the shots. Candela's even had a shot on target, so I guess it's all down to the keeper. But might um, Worth noticing Ronaldo's down on 82 fitness could be a problem on the hour mark, something to keep an eye on. I'll put it up on the yellow so people can see if you're not watching with the sound on. That's it. I know most of you are, but of course some are not. Over on the other side, Oliver Kahn is predictably on a 9 after that first half. Everyone else is kind of sort of scattered between 6s and 7s, 1-8 for Martin Lauerson, and super fitness for everyone. So both managers, if you want to make any changes or substitutions, then please let us know. If not, then I'm happy to continue. Sally Hamidic on a 6 as well. Mike says as is. We did have the Sancte manager here earlier, I believe. the Sanctay squad on the screen in case he is here. Unless, of course, it was Duggan who logged in drunk on his old account or with the old logo. If I had a side, I'd take him off your hands, Mike. Aha, there he is. Smerton for Montella, two up. Excellent, excellent. Good, good, good. Some stuff here. Smerton for Montella. We do that. Two up top. DMC Central. Perfect. Excellent. Looking forward to see what happens with that. Take that up to the hour mark and see if Sanctay can create a little bit more in the second half. Hopefully, if they definitely can. Fabulous strike from Totti, opening the scoring for the home side. After that first half, the manager is going to be delighted with that impact that his changes made. 63 minutes now, and we pause it for further changes. Pence on a 5. Probably not ideal, but he's 1-0 up, so manager will most likely take it. No fitness concerns to speak of. And yeah, and that's what it is. That's what it is. That's what your options are, Ross. Mike says, really? Pensive row, and okay, we'll do that first, and then we'll pop over to the one shot, one goal. Really easy to lose interest in this game. It is. It is easy to lose interest in this game when it's going this kind of home save way. I mean, getting champed on a home save is one thing, but getting champed in the Super League is another. Um, Here are the guys and your options if you want to make any changes. Condition wise, you have Ronaldo down on 78. Everyone is doing fine. Someone fishing for Scally. Brave. All this transfer talk. I mean, there are players definitely out there that might benefit from being at a different club in terms of the position that they would play or the kind of support acts that they would have at their disposal. Um, Definitely something for the managers to consider. Um, and yeah, there will probably be an option for that, but I'll share something later on tonight or even tomorrow. Um, Salihamidzic for Phil Neville. Drop the arrows on the AMCs. Sigalko on for Mido. Off for Mido. Done. Excellent. We'll see if that works out and if Stanley can find a way back into this, or if the tactical changes from Sanctay continue to dictate the pace of the game. Quick yellow card for Phil Neville there has just come on. Not super impressive from him. Yellow card for Candela. The yellow card goes the other way. We'll slow down for the last couple of minutes, see if it gets any more exciting. Scholes tonight a great goal. So it looks as if Sanctay are still, if not in charge, then at least creating the most of the chances. And indeed, that's how it finishes. 2 shots on target for the home side. One of them converted. That was enough for them to pick up the 3 points. 2 wins on a trot. So that's good news for their new manager. And Stanley, unfortunately, for them, just not able to find the back of the net despite having the ball at the feet of the right people at the right time. Oliver Kahn just a little bit too strong, and Martin Lausen with a pretty good performance as well. Good substitutions as well. Montella and Owen both coming on getting sevens, which was definitely better than Smerton and Impensa and how they were performing. Not a lot in it in terms of the average ratings over on the Stanley side, but just a little bit more luck for Sanctay this evening. So we take badges next. I think Tato was losing something. I'm not sure if there was a will to live or whatever, but he was losing something. Only one change for Foss Road, and it's Roy Keane being captain instead of Lily and Turam. Can we still sign outside league players? If you've not signed 2 already, then yes. If you have signed 2 already, then no. Is the simple answer to that. I don't think I will necessarily make that change because no one ever plays their out of league signings, so it's entirely pointless. We might as well just scrap that rule, to be completely honest. But we can we can see if there are like really solid arguments for out of league signings, then I'm happy to make them. I'm happy to make them. But that's maybe a discussion for another time. Anyway, Foss Road is here. I don't know if Swans is here, but Alex is here, so all is good. Um, and Tato is here. Bunch of changes. Amoroso comes in. Swiatkowski on the right. Ashley Lythe in central defense as well is another new face. So yeah, plenty of changes for the Badgers. Let's see how they fare against Foss Road, who have been pretty solid at home so far. Let's see how this goes down. Indeed, Mendieta is still out, so he will not be participating. Excellent. You here to make notes for the list, I presume, for the list of decisions gone against you. I'll try not to make any of them. I did put Roy Keane as captain, so we're off to a good start. Veron makes that start even better, opening the scoring 1-0 just after halftime. And coming up to halftime, it doesn't look as if, or does it? Or does it? Couple of good chances for the away side, but no goals. And a dominant display. 6-4 against 3-1. If we look at the averages, nothing spectacular. Stevie G with the assist, 7s and 8s mainly, a couple of 6s, not too bad. And hard times over at the Badgers, indeed. Vitalia and Lythe on 8s, everyone else on 7s and 6s, condition-wise. Indeed, it looks as if Ashley Lythe is surviving. So all looking good. All looking good. Any changes for the managers at this point, please let me know, or go as is, and we'll run till 60. As is for now, not much to be done. As is, Keen on fire. Is he? Let's see. An 8. An 8. 6, 4, and 2. I've seen better. Let's have a look at full time and see whether it'll still be impressive. You better get Dan's approval for that, indeed. Uh, Fairly even start to the second half. But just as I say that, no one picks up a run and he makes it 2-0. Difficult time for the Badgers. The reigning champions, of course, but it looks as if they're struggling a bit at the moment, and it's not getting any better with. Oh, and it skipped to 65, so we'll do the 60 chances now. I believe it was only on 58 or 59, but we'll do the hour changes now. So I'm guessing that's going to be a Rossini topic, but I'll let you confirm, Tato, and if there's anything else. Uh, Meanwhile, quick look at the Foss Road side. Abbey Days, I presume as is, even without Dan's involvement. But of course, if you want to take some Brotter off, then you are welcome. That would be the only underperforming player, or you can leave him on to give him a chance to up his average. Meanwhile, back to the Badgers. Tato, if you want to confirm what you would like to do for this one. Rossini up top for Amoroso. Nikki up top as well. Shubkovia for this guy. Extend those ones. Game over anyway. We will see if it's game over. So those were the changes for the Badgers. Meanwhile, at Foss Road, Ortega for Sambrata, Alex for Sambrata. Excellent. Last 25. Are there more goals in this for the home side? There's one for the away side. There is Roberts with the pulling the goal back. 15 still to play. Could still happen. Suddenly it looks as if they're putting on a bit more pressure. Here comes Crespo. Probably heard that. He probably heard you. Crespo on his last chance. Uh, no goals in 10 games now. And there he is. Now he does have a goal. And trust Crespo to trust Crespo to to ruin that potential transfer. HD. That's how it is. 3-1 Post Road. That's how it finishes. Not a huge sort of like demolition of the champions, but a solid win for Post Road nonetheless. Battaglia on a 9 is the sort of the bright light for the away side. Desai really struggling to keep his place at the top of the average rating chart with I believe uh, Charlie Chaos from Exiles getting an assist this evening, and Desai only getting a 7, 15 and 10 on the tackles. Let's have a quick look and see. 15 and 10, it was the same for Roy Keane. He did well, but of course, Verong with the 2 goals is the recipient of the Man of the Match award. Keane getting an assist as well. So no complaints, of course, from Foss Road for that result. Just back to the maybe not back to the drawing board, but it's uh, it's uh, it's been a difficult couple of games for them. They were, I think, what was it, 4-0, 2-0, 1-0, a 0-0, and now at least they scored, but unfortunately, still a defeat for them. Anyway, we have got slots against Vikings coming up next, so let's dive straight into this one. I will double check my notes here. There's a couple of changes. I believe Petit should be set as captain. That's maybe a mistake. Indeed, there he is. Um, Changes. Taribo West comes in at DMC because manager wants to see Stam in action. Understandably so. Southgate is there as well. They did concede 3 last time out, so maybe a bit of a change at the back is a good idea. Petit comes into midfield. We've got Fiore and I believe Rosiki's on the right hand side. Keenan Franca and then Smith up top. Slots desperately need to start finding the back of the net, says the manager, and I cannot disagree. Over on the opposite side of the fence is the I believe they go as is, carry on as is, I think was the instruction from Paul. So what do they say about Crespo? Form is temporary, class as permanent. Taribo West at defensive midfield. 4 centre backs, Ian. There are 4 centre backs in those 4 roles. There's logic here, so don't question these things. You can question them, of course. Interesting decision. Not having your 2 CBs as West Stam is a missed opportunity. Aha! I'm I'm glad you put West Ham in brackets, Mike. I would have never gotten that one. I'll be completely honest with you. Good. Let's kick this one off. We do have another game to get to as well, so let's see if we can get Slots and Vikings get some action in this one, get some goals in this one. It's definitely not beyond these sides to score goals. They could happen a bit more regularly though. Southgate will be the star man, potentially so. He has been very, very good since being brought in. Um, but it's Jens Jeremies with a parting gift to his manager, opening the scoring for Vikings. I knew there was going to be a story in there. I knew there was going to be a story in there. Thanks, Mike. I play the foreigner card. I always play the foreigner card. Um, yeah, sorry. I lost track of what was going on now. Too busy laughing at that. But it seems as if the home side are still struggling to score goals. They are definitely creating chances, just not putting it over the line. Petit is furious for some reason. Yeah, it's another. I mean, camping is kind of scenario coming up here, reminiscent of the Stackington game that we, sorry, the Sancte versus Stanley game that we had earlier. Home side completely dominant, although that was the other way around with the away side. But tricky, tricky times, tricky times. Um, Chances are falling to the right people, I guess. Robbie Keane, Franca, Roshiki, Alan Smith, but just not scoring. just not scoring. We'll see if the manager wants to do anything at halftime. Fitness-wise, all is good. Rosiki's down to 84, but I believe he normally does that. Ratings are so-so. Over on the other side is Bauma with the assist, and Jeremis with the goal. Not much else to write home about. 7 and 6s. Obviously, looking at the match stats, they had overall a kind of a poor first half, the Vikings, but they're winning, so I'm not sure the manager's going to be too bothered. Any changes for me, the manager, at this point? Franca up front. Let's see. Franca up front with Smith. Franca up front. Smith off. Rui Costa on. I believe this is what we are doing for the sloth side, and Paul goes as is. So we run till 60, and we see what effect that has, if any. I mean, it looks as if it's sloths creating chances still. Let's have a look. Indeed, 10 and 4 now. That's another shot on target, but they didn't find the back of the net. Taribo West is loving life at DMC. That's a 9 for him. Keane and Southgate, Southgate, and where is he? Yep, Stam doing okay. Look at Stam, 7 and 7. That's pretty good in terms of tackles. Couldn't stop the goal though. Fiore is not doing particularly well, neither is Franca. Let's put it this in this format so the manager can see a little bit more of what is going on. Franca's still on the 6 as mentioned. Fiore is on the 6 as well. Fitness-wise, everyone is doing kind of okay. Difficult to see what's going wrong other than failing to actually score on some of the chances. Meanwhile, for the Vikings, playing badly, to be fair, but still winning. So so what's the big deal? 5, 6s, a couple of 7s. Condition-wise, you're good. I'll do the changes for Alf, and I'll come back to you in a second, Paul. We say Franca. Smith off with Kostov, Kessman up front with Franca, Petit off, and Kessman, Petit. Apologies for being incredibly slow here, and those two go up top. that's that's an arrow. Did Jens play a similar formation in one of his first games in charge? I believe he had this kind of tower thing going on. This is the narrow. This is the ultimate narrow formation. Um, Interesting. Meanwhile, Paul, any changes for you here on the hour mark? Thank you very much, Alf. Does Kessman have a good Super League history? You should be asking Steve, I think. Um, I think he had one. I feel like he had one season maybe for Evils or someone somewhere. Or was that in Penza? Probably was in Penza. No, he probably doesn't. Steve's right. He probably doesn't. I mean, you should trust Steve over anyone else on Super League history, more or less. Um, does any striker? No. No, the short answer to that, Alex, is no. No strikers have like a really uh, proven long-term track record in the Super League. Tsigalko's had a season or two. Rossini was the top scorer with 21 the first season I was in charge. It's been sort of a mixed bunch. Uh, Rio off for Terry. Palermo for Thierry Henry. Interesting couple of substitutions here. Right, we run this until the end, and you can continue the discussion about the strikers. What a time it would be for Palermo to open his account for the Vikings. I think he's been coming on as a sub on several occasions, and they failed to impress, to put it mildly. Slow this down a little bit here, just towards the end. Franco with the header. Good save by the Vikings keeper. It looks as if it's been pretty much all sloths from the hour mark up until now. Although Southgate does pick up a yellow card there, and he is furious, and he only gets a talking to, no red card. That's lucky. Um, um, they continue to come forward. Here's Fiore, here's Franca, Jeremy's post down Franca. Uh, Rosicky free kick goes out for a goal kick. Down the other end, Bauer aims for the top corner. Lefter Prulos makes the save, and nothing else happens. 13 shots, 6 of them on target. Not a single one went in. Not a great day at the office for the Sloths manager, who said that they need to start converting their chances. They still need to convert their chances because that definitely wasn't happening this evening. Taribo West picks up a man of the match on an 8 in a central midfield. I think that says all you need to know about that game. 10 tackles, 9-1 for Yapstam. He certainly did well at the back. So perhaps we see this back four again. Shame for Alf that none of the front men really have the capability of putting the ball in the back of the net. Rosicky with 4 shots, only 1 on target. Robbie Keane, sort of the same conversion rate. Copious really big errors. Right. Terry came in and did well. Apart from that, there wasn't much to take away for the Vikings. Good performance and 3 points. Jeremy's saying goodbye, possibly with a solid performance and a goal there. Anyway, last game of the evening, coming up to the hour mark. We'll do East Coast against Northern Burn. Not that we have a choice, but it should be an interesting one. This one, uh, Northern Burn. Their home form has obviously been spectacular. They have got 18 points at home, which means for those who do maths, that they only have 7 away from home, so probably not. Uh, Actually, Neil, you say Ronald Gomez for Esteberia. Ronald Gomez in the reserve league. I'll bring up Ronald Gomez at the end of this. I think he would get more goals than Esteberia in the league for sure. I mean that I don't think there can be any doubts about that at all. He might not be able to play a right wing back, but I think that's a fact. That has to be a fact. Anyway, I think Ian swapped a couple of players around in midfield, Milevski and Vieira. Those were the only changes. Meanwhile, and Riquelme came back on the bench. Yeah, he did. He did. Okay, so all good there. Meanwhile, over at East Coast, there was a couple of changes made. Gat for Nakata was one that was made during the game as well last time out, and Tony comes onto the bench for the injured Constantino. Constantino, I think. Yes, Constantino. Indeed, indeed. First versus second. It could be a classic or it could be a bit of a chess game. Let's see how it goes. We kick this one off. Who are the first people jumping into the comments and the last people on? Some people have to go first, some people have to go last. But hopefully you are both still here. Uh, let's go up to halftime, and it's Inzaghi opening the scoring. I think I might have made a mistake in this one, but I will have a look at halftime. I do apologize if that is the case. Should that be Tony and for Constantino? Should that be the case? Should he be starting? I believe so. Anyway, I thought that might have been a mistake, but either way, it's Inzaghi who opened the scoring for Northern Burn. Top scorer in the league has done the job that he was sent out to do and has opened the scoring. Tony is correct. Yeah, okay, good. I was just confused somehow because of the injury to Constantino. Apologies for that. Ian says, as is. He waited an hour for this, indeed. Without seeing anything. Milevski with the assist. You made the right tactical choice to swap him and Patrick Vieira around. Patrick Vieira is on a yellow, though. You might want to watch out for that. Over on East Coast side, it's been fairly quiet. Mark Giuliano's on a 5. We'll bring it up like this. Gattuso's on a 6. Um, Finding it difficult to break down the Northern Burn side in Mark Giuliano on a 5 is it's not good reading. Agat who went out on the left, oh sorry, out on the wing for Nakata. It's on a 6, nothing for now. We'll run till halftime. Um, while the transfer rumors continue to spread amongst the remaining managers. Much better start to the second half for East Coast, creating two big chances here. Still haven't found the back of the net. Keeps coming forward, but Casillas somehow keeping his clean sheet. Agat was offside there. There was another chance for them, and there come out of nowhere. It's Brosek with a second goal for Northern Burn on the evening. Two shots, both on target, both went in. Bart is not covering himself in glory today. Let's see who got the assist for this one. It was unassisted, apparently. I thought East Coast had a chance there, and then it looked as if Northern Burn all of a sudden scored. Who knows? Either way, this is the situation that you're looking at, Dimple. If you want to make any changes, feel free to let me know. I presume Ian is going as is. That's just a guess. Although he will no doubt put someone on just to rock the boat. But I don't think he has Zidane on the bench. Yeah, I thought that might have been as is. If you'd had Zidane on the bench, you probably would have played him, right? Juliano off for Torres. We do that. One at the back, two up top. Around Ronaldinho. Centralized DC. Excellent. Good, good, good. Could be an exciting last 25 minutes as East Coast try to overcome a 2-goal deficit. It's a tricky one against Northern Burn, but if anyone can do it, should be East Coast, second place team. And apparently the toughest away game of the season. Those were Ian's words, obviously prior to the kickoff. We'll slow it down just because we've got 10 minutes to play, and it looked as if stuff was happening, and then it obviously went a little bit quiet again. But it looks as if East Coast have had their chances. Iker Casillas' name somehow pops up all the time, regardless of what happens when East Coast goes forward. Whether it's a save or the ball just ends up in his hands, who knows? There he is again, um, setting up the attack. Emerson going forward, lines up the free kick, nothing came of it. We will have 5 minutes of added time. Let's see if, Data swings in the corner, I think it was, and there is Hipia with the third of the evening. Who is going to stop Northern Burn? They go into the halfway point of the season in a very, very dominant form. You would suggest. Of course, there was that slight hiccup against the Sloths, but it looks as if they are pretty much back on form. They did definitely back in the good books, and indeed well spotted. Steve had the assist for that last goal. Ronaldinho with the rebound, and it's a consolation for East Coast here. Ronaldinho in added time, making it 1-3. 5 shots on target each, and Northern Burn runs out the winners with the 3 goals. Assist for Dede, as mentioned, assist for Milevski. Goal from Sami Hyypiä of all people, and Yaya, bit of an unsung hero there in that role. Came in, did well, hasn't looked back. That's his 13th game. What was his? Why was he was a Sancte player. It was part of that big swap that they had. So he's come in, taken his chance, done well. Vieira down on a 5 with a yellow card. That might be someone. That might be someone for someone. Big old Paddy B from the old Vieira lottery. If anyone remembers that, congratulations, Ian. Indeed, indeed. Right, so plenty more goals than we had last time out, so that's good news. More for me to talk about. Dudley winners, Northern Burn winners, Exiled winners, Foster Road winners, Haggis and Los Santos sharing the spoils, Sancte winners, and Vikings now up to 9th winners as well. Looking at the table itself, as you could probably work out, Northern Burn on 28, Foster Road on 25, Dudley Hill with that point on 23. those 3 points rather on 23 mixed up there. Exiles on 22, same as East Coast, who were on 22 before, not Dudley. And there's Haggis on 20, and then below the line, the 3 point gap here at the midway point of the season. Fulchester, Badgers, Vikings, Sloths, Sancte, Los Santos, Stanley, and Stackington way down there. I'll take a front two of Andy Cole and Dwight Yorkham, whoever has them. I don't think either of those are in the league, Alf, to be honest. And if you see Andy Cole's finishing, you'll know why. um, for those interested in maths, I don't think it's ever really taken 40 points to get into the playoffs, but it looks like it could be that way this season. If this continues, we're of course at the halfway point. It will be 40 points to get into the finals, or the playoffs rather. So that's what you're aiming for. Even Fulchester on 34, that might be a little bit low. So probably somewhere in between those two will be the most likely spot to aim for. I think, was it 38 you count down to, Tato, or something like that anyway. Fixtures coming up. So I don't know when the next round will be, obviously, but I will let you know. I'm going on holiday, so not anytime soon. Unless I am. What you have to wait for or look forward to are a bunch of the top sides being at home. So so you can eagerly anticipate that if you're one of the sides struggling at the bottom or looking for points, that's not going to be super easy. But that's what you have to look forward to. As mentioned, update on potential transfers. I'll share with you shortly. Packs and all this kind of good stuff will be out at some point tomorrow. And yeah, good luck with whatever transfers you've got coming in. And yeah, enjoy the rest of August. I'll speak to you soon.